Hello, welcome back. We now have a level of thaumaturgy for communion spells, and level 5 conjuration for large elementals. I'll continue going up evocation now though. And Agartha has also claimed our Throne of Fortune, which is sad. We broke out of Utgard against some dogs, so you know, good stuff. And lots of battles we either took part in or saw, so I'll get to that in a second. But nothing too consequential. We dodged Utgard, unfortunately, so they went into Curtain Wall. So they're just walking around. The only battle we had where we had a sort of successful defense was Robberholm. So I'll just watch that briefly. We have our Tyrant over here, with his Corpse Candle shield, against some Iron Corpses, so we're just buffing up. Got Fire Shield instead of Soul Vortex. And, yeah, I mean, these things don't last very long. We end on 12 fatigue and 86 hit points. Pretty straightforward. So there's Robberholm. Besides that, I think it's best if I just look at the map. So, yeah, we lost the last underwater province. One of the squads of Iron Corpses went into Inuptia. Didn't do anything about that. And the other one went to Robberholm, and we successfully defended it. But can't see anything else. I think he might have just kept the entire stack in Forest of the Lost while he claimed the throne. Because it doesn't look like it went anywhere. And over here we caught a scout, so no battle. But we cleared out a scout at least, I suppose. Utgard's army is here in Curtain Wall, so yeah, we dodged that, unfortunately. But that's it for the important stuff. What was this we saw here? Oh, patrolling out some false prophet, got a scout. And yeah, up here we can see that yeah, Erethair has noticed that Agartha is busy and has left all of the territory undefended, so what was this? Scout. Oh, lost my scout. But we can see at least 3 of Agartha's forts under siege immediately. Which is not a good place for Agartha to be, so, you know, I'm glad, although, you know, Erethair is probably huge at this point, so if they just sweep over Agartha, that's not great, I suppose. But hey, it is what it is. At least it frees us up in this area, probably. And so I imagine Agartha has to move back. I will briefly watch some of these battles as well. One in Summerlands is pretty funny because, so Erethair is running these big communions, and lots of sacreds as well with these auras. And I think these troops are just so slow that they don't get near the mages until they go off script and drop gifts from heaven and wipe out tons of units. So he killed 32 of his own troops with gifts from heaven. This battle also is a bit odd because the mages cast for a while. And these guys are not in the communion. But then right at the end they join the communion. And then they just start fatiguing out the slaves, because there's only a few slaves. So you can see them all dying now. Kind of strange because it was a nice communion and then it turns into like a massively top-heavy communion, so 3 of the communion slaves just randomly start dying. Besides that though, I mean, you know, they can afford to make a few mistakes because there's no defenders back here, so they're probably going to take this stuff pretty quickly unless Agartha starts moving his ass. Yeah. But that was the battles this turn anyway. Besides that, there's nothing too interesting to see. Just scouts and Iron Corpses, basically. Events though, we got plus 50 income in Ivanmore, which is really nice. That is this province. So, really good province at the moment. And White Lake, we the sea is being polluted by the crowded settlements in this province. Plus 1, 400 people left. Yeah, great. We have to deal with all this terrible dominion because of Abyssia. It's death and misfortune. And drain. Really great. What else? Our scout got caught by Midgard, which is a bit disturbing. And yeah, another one got caught by Agartha. And we caught one in Jerab. But that's it for messages. And here's how the map looks. So yeah, hopefully this just pulls a Gothra away from us. And we can just clean this territory back up, take this back, and concentrate on Utgard. So I'll start down here, because this stack is probably the last real stack that Utgard has at this point, so we have to deal with it. I don't know if I'm just kind of... Well, what's the phrase for when you like overthink something? And but I was wondering, what do I do here? Do I move this stack and move patrol onto Phlegra and assume he's going to walk into Phlegra and defend? Or is that too obvious? And he's clearly not going to move onto Phlegra, and I just sit here and protect this temple? Or is that too stupid and he's just going to move onto Phlegra and I'm just going to waste a turn? I don't know. It's tough to say. But as it is, this stack can only really move to... Well, it can go backwards, or it can go to Broken Land or Amphalia, both of which have temples. This is my only wasteland, which is, you know, this is the center of my nation's production at the moment. This has a temple as well. Or sit on my cap. Which one is of those three choices, or four if he goes backwards, will he make? I can't really move a lot of stuff, unfortunately. There's very little I can move from Utgard to Broken Land. We have this province over a river, which is frozen, through a forest or mountains into a wasteland. It's really bad terrain and it's cold. Although, I think... Oh yeah, this game's running the snow movement mod, so cold scales don't matter too much. But even so, it's pretty bad terrain in this area. So none of our troops can move here. The only things that can move here are Woodhenge Druids, the undead units we've been summoning, my god, and the tyrants. Although the tyrant in the cap went crazy this turn and just started opening a tomb, so can't really rely on him. But I'm going to move what I can to Broken Land to defend it, and this stack is just going to sit in Amphalia and just defend it. And I'm just going to leave Phlegra undefended. Because I figure, well, if he moves there, I can just move into him next turn, right? It's just wastes a turn, but I don't know. I feel like maybe he'd be clever and just move into Amphalia next turn. Maybe I'm just being stupid, though. I don't know. But let's see. I'll defend Amphalia, and I'll defend Broken Land. Amphalia looks like the way it's always looked. So, nothing new to see there. Broken Land's a bit more interesting. So, I put the PD here up to 30. Gives us some archers and stuff. A couple of blockers. And I'm going to move what I can here, which is about 30... What is this? 34 Dust Walkers and Dust... What are the other ones called? Dust Warriors. So we've got like 3 blocks of about 11 Dust units in the front. We also have the Woodhenge Druids. These guys are doing Elemental Fortitude on turn 1 to get some fire res. Then they're doing Blessings, which will also hopefully land on the Dust Priest. Then they're doing Heal, just in case anybody caught on fire before the buffs got up. Then they'll do Eagle Arrows and just start doing Eagle Eyes and doing Vine Arrows. That's fine. We've got some Tyrants in the battle, including the named one that you get at the very beginning. I've given our god's regen ring to him. So we've got 2 of these guys in the battle, giving themselves some buffs and then just walking forwards and attacking. I got a couple of Cyclopes who are basically just trying to get some, you know, little spells down. That's about it. And then we've got the big mages, the undead mages. So these guys are trying to do some stuff that's a bit more interesting. One of them spamming Fire Lilies, which is great. You know, we just researched this, so good stuff. One is trying to put up Heat from Hell. So lay down some fatigue effects that we're mostly immune to. We have lots of reinvigoration, you know, we have Earth Power and our Bless, and lots of our troops have Fire Res. So, you know, we're pretty resistant to Heat from Hell. And then this guy is going to try and do Power of the Spheres to boost his levels, and then do Darkness. Darkness is -6 to attack and defense, which won't affect our Dust guys because they have Spirit Sight. So that'll really tip the scales in their favor. This province is also Heat 2, so they get nice stats as well. These units have really, really good attack stats is the thing. The, like the Sacreds. They go in, because a lot of these guys have experience as well. They're walking around with like, let's see, This guy's got 15 attack with a 37 damage hit, which is pretty brutal. So I'm hoping that if we plunge them into darkness, you know, it might hurt their ability to hit us a bit more, which would be good, because the Dust Warriors have, you know, pretty decent defense. They've got like 16 on some of these units, right? He's got 17. The darkness would be pretty nice. Especially since the Dust Warriors, you know, when they've got like combat advantage, they're really good against giants, because they're only size 2. They've got Heat Aura as well, and you know, those guys have fire vulnerability. They've got tons of hit points to back up the defense, so as long as they're not, you know, getting hit too often. Big issue is protection, but I've got at least one Cyclops, I think, doing some Iron Warriors, so I might get a little bit of protection down on them. It's basically just Heat from Hell, Darkness, our undead units, and a bunch of Fire Rallies. In addition to the Tyrants and some PD. That's what's defending there. So those are the two defenses for if this stack moves up or down. If it just moves straight onto Phlegra, though, I'll feel kind of stupid that I didn't just defend it. But I guess it makes more sense defending the Temple, right? Because we've already got the Tyrant. We'll have that in the cap next turn no matter what. We're not going to lose recruitment. Because recruitment happens before movements take place, so if you've already, you know, there's nothing left to put into this guy, he'll be sitting in the fort next turn. And break siege battles happen before storms, so even if this cracks open immediately, we can still smash into him before he gets in the fort. So I don't think we lose anything other than a turn by not just move patrol into Phlegra, but I don't know, it's one of those positions where, you know, you can psych yourself out all day wondering where which direction a stack's going to go in. So whatever, I'll just defend these two provinces and hope it doesn't just move onto Phlegra. See what happens. Besides that, just going to try and start raiding as best I can. Guys that are patrolling in Jero, I might as well move out now because, I mean, Erethe is in a war, so I'm not too concerned about defending this point anymore. So those guys can just go to move forth. We've got some crossbows, a couple of blockers in the front. Two Woodhenge Druids, because why not? You know, they can throw some vine arrows too. Yeah, I mean, they'll take some random provinces for us. Much larger stack is going to move to an Aperture. Got, what's this? 90 crossbows and 30 giants, 10 flingers. We've also got a flaming arrows dude. A couple of big guys with some items. We've got 2 guys with crossbows. And 1 guy with a frostbrand. So we can move to a nuptier, and then depending on where we need them, we'll just send them around. Could move straight onto this and try and take it, or onto this and try and take it if it empties. Or they can move down and make a start on pressuring these forts, especially if this all goes wrong and this stack just walks over Phlegra and starts raiding the back or something stupid. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll take those 2 provinces probably. If we're really lucky, maybe we'll catch a Thug or another Iron Corpse stack or something. It's also possible he moves this onto us, right, to try and put it under siege again, just to be annoying. So it's nice to move into it. Maybe we'll win a coin flip and stall it, something. Besides that, not much else to say, other than, you may have noticed I'm not moving my god to Broken Land. This guy who's in the province, what is your name anyway? Enkilados. Enki here is going to cast Fires from Afar on this stack. And my god is going to do likewise, so Fires from Afar is this spell. Sends 10 plus 1 per level projectiles at an enemy province. Does 15 points of armor piercing magic fire damage, which is significant since all these giants have fire vulnerability in this balance mod we're running. I think in vanilla they have shock vulnerability, but yeah, they got fire vulnerability in this mod, so Fires from Afar should be slightly better than normal on them. Problem is they do have like tons of hit points, so I'm not entirely sure if this is worth it or not. But I don't know. I think maybe if they get hit during the ritual phase, they'll be wounded in the battle phase. I could be wrong about that. This is also possible I hit like a Norna or something and kill it. I'm not sure. Either way, we'll just hit this with 2 rounds of Fires from Afar while we're doing our defenses. And I believe I'm forging a Frostbrand. Just check. Frostbrand, and is that it? I thought maybe I was forging a hide shield, but I don't know. Yeah, I am, okay. Raw hide shield. Oh yeah, that reminds me, there's also a cloud trapezing. Yeah, so there is also this guy who's cloud trapezing to do flaming arrows. Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of the PD has short bows. So, setting them on fire, pretty good against these giants if they do move up. We'll see though. But that's it for the turn. It would be nice to get a... Oh, okay, yeah, I'm also moving a scout to Curtain Wall to see what gets hit. Hope that counts, because the movement will be after the ritual, right? I'm not sure if that counts or not. But yeah, if we're lucky, we'll see what gets hit and what doesn't. Mercenaries still have for 2 months, so that's okay. I will have to rebid on them next month, though. And also pay for a new Tyrant, so... I don't know, might lose them. But, yeah. There's the turn anyway. It's turn 45. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. We got some research in evocation done, so we're at 5. For better or for worse now, we can do gifts from heaven, so all of our communion masters will enjoy doing that, I'm sure. I've made sure that we do enough research this month to hit 6 as well, which also unlocks astral fires for the communions, which might be kind of useful. I assume we're up against a lot of high armor, low magic resistance stuff. It's been a while since I checked the stats on Agartha's units. This game's been paused for a little bit. Anyway, besides the research, did some fires from afar. Can't see if it hit anything because didn't have a scout there. And we sat around in Anfalia. Utgard, of course, moved on to Phlegra because I outsmarted myself. Could have just moved patrol onto Phlegra, right? Oh well. We stayed in Anfalia instead, which got pinged by a scout. So there we go. So we didn't really have any defenses this month. But we saw lots of battles between Irithea and Agartha. The 2 big ones are Kedra and Summerlands. The other ones are just kind of small skirmishes. But these ones are pretty big. I think this was a break siege battle, maybe? So here's an Irithaean army with a lot of crossbows. A lot of dudes. And here's a bunch of Agarthan mages at the back. Lots of soulless and reanimators. Got some iron corpses and blind fighters and sepulcrals. So going to be quite a lot of skelly spam. Into lots of fire rallies. Who wins, fire rallies or skeletons? The sepulcral's getting destroyed. Okay, these guys have a lot of magic resistance, unfortunately. Blesses Regen Fortitude, right, I remember now. Yeah, these guys will be pretty hard to kill, I think. A lot of fire rallies are just stuck behind crossbows, which probably isn't ideal. You guys undead, actually? Oh yeah, they're undead. We can use anti-undead stuff. If we have any of that. Yeah, that just looked like a lot of banishing, didn't it? Okay, these fire rallies are not going anywhere. Irithea at least has the fire res on his blessed units, yeah. I imagine these crossbows are having a bad time, though. Slight scripting error, or positional error. Well, either way, looks like Agartha has been cleared out. Still more skeletons coming, but fire rallies will eventually clear those up, I think. Let's put this on turbo. Hmm. Interesting battle. Yeah, it looks like Eartha gets it in the end, though. So that one was Kedra. 55 things died. 99 things died here. 53 crossbows died. I think a lot of that stuff died to Firely heat auras. These guys got 5 kills, and 99 things died. That's kind of funny. Although I guess Horde of Skeleton kills don't count, do they? Yeah. And the next big battle was Summerlands. So, Fort Storm. Pretty empty, though. These are very large communions. This guy's just getting mind burned to death, or soul slayed, whatever that was. Yeah, not much to see. Whoops. Summerlands. 7 dead dudes. Minion fatigue, maybe? Might have been too many masters. Another fort, though. Besides that, what else did we see? So there was Kedra. There was a scout pinging us. Some mercenaries attacking Agartha bouncing off, unfortunately. Erythea taking a province. Us taking a province off Agartha with our random stack. Van taking the cave, which is a bit annoying. Or Midgard taking the cave, which is a bit annoying. Erythea taking a province. Probably better if I just look at the map, honestly. You can see here, Erythea just kind of sweeping over. Yeah. They're doing pretty well. And events then, we've got 10 income in Broken Land. Oh, is that the Wasteland? That's nice. And lost some tax in Cerulean Sea. And yeah, we're under siege in Phlegra. Also, this stack is moving towards us. Now, I kind of assumed that if this was happening to Agartha, he would probably want to move back the bulk of his units to, you know, help defend against it. But apparently not. Apparently he's just marching this stack towards me. So that kind of threw me a bit, because I would not have expected that, because it looks like Agartha is being crushed now. So, slightly worrying. This is a very odd province to move to. If you move to Mewforth, it might have been that he wanted to go through Jereb and threaten Erythea's cap or something. Maybe he's just trying to take Utgard? I'm not sure. But either way, this is still quite worrying for us then. I thought this would just pull him away from us, but nope. Interesting. Anyway, but yeah, that's the biggest thing this turn to worry about. So, one thing that's significant about this province is that it's cold 3 still, from Utgard's Dominion. And since Erythea is at war with Agartha, and he's sitting in a cold 3 province, and this is a water nation, they offered a while ago that if I saw an Agarthan stack in a cold province, let them know and they can do some Murdering Winter. So you may notice I've got 0 water gems. I basically spent my water gems to purchase a Murdering Winter on this province. And Erythea agreed to do that. So we are calling in air support from a quote-unquote friendly neighbor, which hopefully clears out some of this junk. That would be nice if we just, you know, take away some of the units to make it a bit more manageable. And also, you know, punish someone for putting all of their units in one block. That would be good. So, yeah, for now I'm still just avoiding this. But we'll see if Murdering Winter clears out some of the stuff. Murdering Winter, by the way, I'll just show that off in case you don't know. It's this it's for 40 gem ritual. But it does armor negating cold damage. Cold magic damage, in fact. In a province. And I believe it's better in cold provinces. The blizzard is very powerful and will kill most normal men unless they are located in a hot province. Yeah. The spell is extremely powerful if it's cast in a cold province, and almost useless if cast in a very hot province. Yeah. Doesn't hit many commanders, but they do still get... Oh, I see. Maybe it does hit commanders, but they just take less damage. I always assumed that this meant that the commanders just don't get hit, but I guess they do. They just take less damage. Okay. Yeah, pretty brutal spell to drop on stacks anyway. So Earthhay is doing that. We'll see how that goes. Since this giant stack is now threatening a huge amount of area around here, I basically have to just move all of these little stacks away from it because I can't defend against it with what I can sort of move in any useful direction. So this little stack that just took move 4 is just going to head straight back to Jereb. The communion slaves in Jereb are going to move to Red Bud Grow just in case I need to put them somewhere more useful in a turn or two. If this moves straight down, it's really annoying. I don't want it to move straight down. Worst case scenario is it moves straight down, because then it threatens this province, and I really don't want to lose this province. Because as long as I hold this province, I can just keep making more and more hidden in sands every 2 turns. If I lose this, then I start losing army growth. This is going to be really bad. So if this goes anywhere else, it gives me a turn or two to kind of move stacks together. And, you know, with everything we have around here, we could probably fight against a stack that's been, you know, depleted slightly from Murdering Winter. But if it moves straight down, it's just annoying. Because I probably have to sack this, because I don't think I could get enough stuff there in 1 turn. So yeah, this goes to Jereb. Mages go to Redbud. This stack could have threatened some stuff up here. Also just going to move straight down. Can't go anywhere useful with this, so probably just going to take these provinces and then start taking these forts or something. Not much else I can do. It's a pretty good stack as well. Lots of giants and crossbows. And the giants would be useful because of all the magic weapons. Yep, they're going to have to run this way though. We'll make do what we've got. Do the dust guys have magic weapons? I don't think so, right? No. That's also slightly annoying. Need more giants over here. I've got a few flingers at least. So that's something. But they're going to have to move to Summer Edge. So depending on where the stack moves, they might also have to go this way, which is, you know, not great. So lots of running away. Over here, I'm going to try and cap these Utgard provinces with just like scouts and things, because this one has no PD. Utgard's just kind of walked straight up my cap, so I'll try and scout cap this. Scout's just gone fire. Merc's getting attacked by a scout and a Phantasmal Warrior spammer. Maybe there's like 1 point of PD here, I don't know. But I'll try and cap these, and I'll try and just move my stack into Phlegra. Is he going to sit there? I don't know. But it's the same script we've seen several times. We still got the mercenary companies. We've got some giants and crossbows. We're doing big buffs. Even got some tyrants now, including a new tyrant that we just recruited, so he's got some little items. So fingers crossed Utgard just sits here. If he just moves off it now and keeps taking provinces, also kind of annoying. But we'll see. And I also have this on my border now as well. Now, it's just some archers and Ashigarus and Shigenjas, so, you know, maybe it's nothing. But it is now adjacent to my fort. So everything in the fort is just being evacuated as well, which again, maybe I can put that together in a larger army in a second. Lots of communion slaves. So lots of running away. Hopefully God just sits on this fort and we can have a battle and clear it out. That would be nice. And the guys in Broken Lands are just sitting still so that we can actually get some research done. I am doing some patrolling. So I've got these guys patrolling. I'm hoping that what happens is that we discover a scout, which leads to a battle, which means that this guy and the nature mages can heal this guy, because this guy's got a disease and he keeps like slowly dying. So if we have a battle, the nature mages can cast heal on him and heal him back up to full, which gives him a bit more life. So yeah, hopefully we find a scout with the patrollers. Besides that, nothing too interesting happening. Not doing any forging or anything. Saving up as many gems as I can at the moment. And yeah, we just have to see what our opponents do next turn. Hopefully this just goes away. Hopefully this sits still, and hopefully this sits still as well. Worst case scenario, this moves down, this moves, I don't know, up, and we get attacked. So, let's see what happens next turn. Also, by the way, just to point it out, apparently Jomon had up Mother Oak, and it was dispelled immediately. Was it Mother Oak? I don't remember exactly. They had up some global, and it was just immediately dispelled the next turn, which I don't know. Just thought that sounded interesting or amusing. This looks like I'm getting attacked, doesn't it? Or unless that's attacking Abyssia. I feel like that's going up towards me, right? Especially with these here as well. Don't have a good feeling about this game, but that's turn 46 anyway, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.